Good morning everybody and welcome to House and Garden Flipper episode 48. Today we're going to continue with our garden from yesterday, and we might actually get in and start the tidy up for the house we're going to flip for the student as well. Notes down the bottom tell us that the layout in a utility garden can be geometric, but it doesn't have to be. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually do a cross between an English garden and a utility garden for the office space because it's such a huge area. And I think I just had to lay out a couple more rebus before we could plant these, so we'll just get those in. What I'm doing is following up on an idea I had yesterday that was picked up by recently bought. It's going to be easier this time to just go this rebus, which is a black currant, so I suppose that does fit into a utility garden pretty well. We're going to go buy many. So the idea I had yesterday or the day before when I was doing emission for the flooded garden, was that the space they had for their flowers, they had these really tall plants, and they had some smaller plants around them. But what I used it for was to divide the area, like a living area, between like a lounge room and a small cozy space that they could sit in around a fire. What the idea I wanted to carry over here was that we had these taller plants around the base of the trees, and then just some small islands of flowers. It is going to take a bit though to get it done, like anything, but it should look pretty good when it's done. So what I'm going to do is have these small islands of flowers in the midst of some kind of utility space where we've got garden beds and crop plants that we can use. And the basic idea behind this is that we'll have a bit of a garden that people can come into and see the different things that can be done by the distance. None of this really actually matters too much to the game itself. It's just a bit of role playing that it helps to keep things interesting in my head. So we're going to cover that with soil. So yeah, the theory being that clients are going to be less likely to hire you if your garden looks like an absolute trash heap. And ditto with your office. So if you're in an office that you haven't renovated, then your chances of getting hired for jobs will probably be a lot less. And if the first thing the client sees when he steps through your front gate is an absolute bomb site of a yard, then he might just step out of the gate without even getting to your office. So I'll make it so it looks a bit pretty. That, and every time I open up the game and come to my office, I don't want to be wincing. So these are multiple of reasons why you might just stop and spend some money on doing up your office. Okay, I am going to get rid of that bush. And it's not going to let me plant my plant there, so I'm just going to move it out a little bit. Now I can plant it. So sometimes your positioning we just won't let you put things exactly where you want it. But this looks like one of the best spaces for a utility garden that I've seen. I forgot to change the flowers on those. Oops. Yeah, okay. Colour theme is important when you're doing a garden. I want to carry the same theme through the entire yard, and in this case I've completely forgotten to change the colours on the flowers that I put on the rebus. Rebus are really good. They come with so I'm going to have a red currant instead. What's that? I didn't know there were white currants, but that's okay. So we'll just very quickly pop these back in with the correct colour scheme. Okay, there we go. 3 digs. Right, if you're looking in the mini map, you can see where I planted the plants or placed the plants, and out of all the plants that are there, you can see which ones are planted and which ones require watering or putting in. It's really easy to forget to water a plant in, and if you do that, it won't count as being planted, which is probably not as important for your renovations as it is for your missions. So if you're ever not sure if you've finished everything with a plant, if you get interrupted halfway through during your game, just check out your mini map and see which circles on the map are red and which ones are green. The white circles signify planted trees. Sometimes you've got to move a little bit to get your pointer in the right spot. So yeah, so that's the theory behind this garden and why I'm doing it quite this way. I'm going to try and bounce between two projects so we're not just stuck in the garden here, we can actually do some renovating as well. Just keep an eye on the time. Today I want to get all of these planted and maybe place the salvia. Although that's straight into the ground, so there's no digging required after you put them in. It just all depends on how quickly I can put these ones in. So yes, technically while there are no points for having a nice office, it's just something I like to do. So garden flipper can take a little bit of time when you do planting. Not everything needs to be planted. If it comes in a pot, you'll need to plant it, but some of the other things that you can get won't. And I was thinking of putting lavender in instead of salvia, because lavender can be used in herb bundles, so that makes it more utility than decorative. But we'll see which one looks better when I compare them. I wonder if you can do this en masse. Let's find out. I'm just trying to work out if this is actually going to be quicker. Oops, let's not cut down the tree. Oh, nice. Did I just... Ooh. Alright, so there you go. I put in a mass of plants, and because they were close together, when I watered one, they all got watered. Let's see if we can do that again. That's really interesting. Alright, so digging the holes, you don't have to switch between your shovel if you just have multiple holes ready to be dug. I think I did once over in the other area, but that was okay. Let's see if I may have glitched it up now. Let's find out. Oh no, there's one more to dig. Okay. Alright, you just got to make sure that you dig your hole properly before it will let you put in your multiple plants. You need to cover each one individually. Now, Alright, so this is quicker because when you water the plants, it's multiple. So we'll just dig these 3 holes. Just go in closer. There we go. Right, so apparently you've got to have a clear line of sight to your plant. Oh, I always thought those red things were flowers, but they're actually berries. That's really awesome. Right. Oh, that just takes out so much time. That's awesome. Right. It's not often you find something new in a game you've been playing this long, so this is actually really fun. So you can multi-water your plants in, you just can't multi-dig your holes. I'm not going to complain about that because that makes perfect sense. And it's one more hole. Okay, let's plant it in. Brilliant. Okay. I'm hoping that's not a glitch, and I'm hoping it doesn't get fixed because that's kind of very cool. Oops, and I just did that individually. That was a bit of a waste of time. Okay, it's not going to let me plant that there. Let's just move it till it turns green again. Let's back it up. No, it's not going to let me plant that one there. That's a pity. I'll just have to pop it around the side. Okay. Nifty. Alright. I think what we'll do is we're going to finish with the planting in the front yard. And then we're going to just head in and have a quick look at what we need to tidy for what we're going to hopefully make the student's house. So we're going into the house after a flood, I believe. Alright, the artist would prefer to also have some dark walls. I've never experimented with dark walls, so we are actually going to try that. Whoa, okay. Alright, well, let's get rid of some of this stuff in the front yard. I'm going to get rid of the plant anyway, so I might as well. You can use your cell tool to remove rubbish. I tend to use the hand tool because at one point when you use that, you are able to also there we go. If you have a look, the student is 4th on our list. Oh, that's an inside patch of dirt. Okay. Right, there are some more bits of dirt around here. We'll just have to find them with our hose, although I'm not sure watering the yard after it flooded is a good idea. Let's just do a quick walk around the outside, that way we can get a fairly honest opinion once we clean up inside. What I'm looking for are external bits of dirt. It used to be if I hosed the windows and the walls like this. Oh yeah, I could clean up inside the house as well. Alright, so for a little while there when I was trying to do that, that wasn't happening. So I now have my magic hose back. Awesome. So I am cleaning up the dirt inside the house by clearing up the outside of the house. Which I always found entertaining, so I'm glad it's back. And sometimes it just won't let you, so that's okay too. Let's head inside. No idea what we're going to find. It doesn't look too bad except for that horrible staining on the wall. I'm going to have to plaster the entire wall. And if you have a look, everyone outside is pretty happy. All my clients, big green arrows now that I've moved into the house. I'm going to take down these doors, not because it's a quick way to clean the place, although it is, but simply because I'll take out the lights. Alright, this was the kitchen. Sometimes it's useful to leave the furniture in, just so you can remember. There we go. Just so you can remember where things are and what the house layout was. That's only if you're going to do the same layout as the house before, and the reason you might want to do that is because the clients that you're aiming at might have been high up on the list. And if they were high up on the list, I'm just going to get rid of the cups and plates as well. If your clients were high up on the list, then that's a good reason to keep the layout that the house had to start with, because it means there was something in that layout that attracted them. If you're doing what I am and trying to bring a client up from the bottom of the list, then you might find that you want to change it a bit more. So, because we're going to go for the student, like this, time check, excellent. Student only likes one room. Sorry, not one room. Let me get this right. The student likes to have his office in with his bedroom, so he likes to have his place of study really close to where he sleeps. So for that reason, we're probably going to take this kitchen area out and turn this space and that space into a bedroom slash study space. This will upset Dolan Tusk, so you'll see the bid offer from him go down a bit. We are going to so what we'll do is we'll take that wall out to remind ourselves. Now what we're doing here is going to reduce the number of rooms in the house, so it's quite possible that we're going to see the Jan Tarts make an appearance as soon as this house goes down from a 4-room house or 5-room house to a 3-room house. That's going to make life interesting as we try to not attract their bid too much. So whereas when I'm doing a bid for the highest bidder, I'll add in lots of plants and carpets and whatnot, I may actually have to refrain from doing that if I wish to get the student as a client. He's still just sitting stubbornly on the 4th rack there. So this is the other part of House Flipper that I really like. Apart from cleaning up places and making them look really nice, which is kind of relaxing, you also get this puzzle aspect of the game. So if you have a look in the mini-map, although we can see that wall, the wall is gone. There is a patch of dirt in here somewhere. Let's just see if we can find it. There it goes. Alright. Artistic disorder, says the artist. Alright, so this is going to be our bedroom slash office. This space here, we're going to actually make a separate living room. That will keep our rental guy happy. Just going to use my cell tool. Sure, there used to be a pick up all trash in range perk, and once you got that up high enough, you could click on one of those cans and all 3 would disappear. It was very handy, but I can't see it anymore, so I'm not quite sure whether I haven't found it yet or whether it's been changed out. Okay, this is one of the rooms I did not use the magic hose on. There we go. So basically this is my pre-clean. If you're ever stuck for where dirt is, always check your window ledges, because that's where it's usually hiding and it can be hard to see. Speaking of windows, let's get this bit out of the way as well. So yeah, so we are going to have a lounge room. I may actually just take out that center wall there, and we'll turn this into a lounge room slash kitchenette. And that will keep the real estate guy happy even as he's complaining. But it will also make our designing a little bit easier to do. So going for the student, we're going to try and keep things relatively simple. One lounge room kitchenette so he can entertain in public, one bedroom study so he can study in private. I do need to remember to put some green walls in. I think he was the one that liked the green walls. I could actually check the client tab as well now, because we've got a few comments from different clients. That should tell us some of their preferences and some of their dislikes. Putting the office in the student bedroom is going to upset Jimmy Trator, because he will count the monitor as a TV screen. Which means that he will not bid as high. So you can still kind of try and work out how to maximize your profit for a place. And I am going to make this another modern garden, basically because students don't tend to like gardening too much. And they might be party animals, but not all of them are. Nearly there. Just take out this wall. So when you've got an idea of which client you want to go for and whether or not you're going to revamp the house with using the walls. Oops, I think I just added something there I didn't mean to. Yep. Let's get rid of that again. The trick is, of course, not to swing your hammer too wildly and take out all you actually want. Alright. Let's just clean the windows, and then I might put in the blinds. And actually I think we may be out of time already, so we'll just finish there. So this is going to be our student house. You'll notice we're now down to 3 rooms, and once I finish cleaning the window, we'll see if the Jantarts have made an appearance. No, they haven't. Alright, so the place is still a bit big for them. Then again, it's also not clean, so they may not arrive. So the power of your cleaning, whoops, we haven't been in here, is that all of your clients will bid more for your house, which makes me really wish that when you mowed in Garden Flipper, that the same thing would happen. They would pay more for a mowed lawn. I'm going to leave that in. I'm going to take that out. That's a bit manky. Oh wow, and they're all upset with me because as far as they're concerned, I just removed their bathroom. That's okay. They can get a grip and it'll be fine. I mean, I'm pretty sure none of them wanted that sink. Okay. The mouse keeps... There we go. Right. Really there. Okay. So you'll also notice when we go back to it, in the mini-map there's a lot of red dots where we're going to need to add in some installations and appliances. Basically pretty much every power point in the place is going to need to be redone. The radiators need to be added and so forth. I'm going to put some good lights in simply because the student's going to do his eyes in otherwise. I have no idea what that is. Okay, So that's where we're going to leave today's episode. We're going to actually return to the office, and I might keep splitting the, that's not what I wanted. I might keep splitting the sessions between revamping this house and revamping the garden until I get down to about 10 grand, when I'll do another mission. Alright, apparently a modern garden loves geometry, so this is not going to be a modern garden. Okay, that looks a bit better already. I'll go for a slightly different photograph this time. Okay, let's do that. Okay. And away we go. Thanks for hanging with me, guys. I'll catch you all tomorrow. If you like this video, please hit like. If you'd like to see more content of this kind, please hit subscribe, and I'll catch you all later.